Good day, U.S. history students. Mr. Deegan here on location in a house in Charlottesville. It's time for lesson 1 of Unit 7. Let's talk about how the U.S. opens itself up to the world. The learning target. I will understand how the U.S. became less isolated in the world in the early 1900s. Before the early 1900s, the U.S. was basically on an island, and they start to open themselves up to the world by entering World War I, by trading with other continents. Lesson 1 explains how. More power. Many American policies today come from America's emergence as a world power at the end of the 19th century. In other words, at the end of the 1800s. And here's a powerful Uncle Sam. American imperialism. America gained more power in the early 1900s by practicing imperialism. What is it? Imperialism is defined as the policy of expanding a country's power through negotiating or military force. And you learned about this I word in world history too. World War I. America's involvement in World War I helped make it a world power for the remainder of the 1900s. And here's a World War I recruitment poster. I want you, says Uncle Sam. More world trade. The growing role of the U.S. in international trade showed America's willingness or urge to build and innovate. And there's some policies American government makes. First, America's open door policy. U.S. Secretary of State John Hay, there he is, proposed a trade policy that would give all nations equal trade rights in China. And the policy was called the Open Door Policy. Here you see a political cartoon that shows Uncle Sam with the keys to China, and all of the European countries follow suit. They also want to trade with China, and the U.S. and John Hay makes that happen. America's dollar diplomacy. U.S. President William Howard Taft urged American banks and businesses to invest money in Latin America. And here is a picture of the 27th President of the United States, William Howard Taft. And here is Latin America and all of the areas it includes. It includes Mexico, Central America, the Caribbean islands, and South American countries. America's dollar diplomacy part 2. Taft said the U.S. military would step in if political violence threatened businesses' money in Latin America. Taft was going to make sure American money was protected. Trade goes global. America grew its international trade from the late 1800s to World War I. It was called the first era means time period, of a true global economy. That is it. We have 2 questions for you to write. What do you want to know more about? Write the 2 questions now, and then you are done with 7-1. Until next time, this is Mr. Deegan signing off.